Well, hello, good morning. First of all, on behalf of UCI Health and UC Irvine, I want to thank the organizers for inviting us here today, so thank you. I think the question was set up quite well. What does a geriatric medicine physician have to do with scams or elder abuse in general, right? Well, I can tell you that I spent the early part of my career really building my career on becoming an expert in elder abuse. Can't hear? Okay, thank you. All right, so thank you. Yeah, we're good. All right, so I spent the early part of my career building an expertise in elder abuse, not just financial elder abuse, but all types of elder abuse. I know elder abuse very well. I know elder abuse in Orange County very well because for decades, our department worked very, very closely with social services. In fact, every week we would meet with the APS workers. If you're not familiar with Adult Protective Services, they are the folks that actually go out and investigate when reports of elder abuse come into the county. And so we would meet, and then I would actually go into the homes of those clients who were victims of elder abuse to really help assess that, whether it's physically, mentally, psychologically, etc. I've also reviewed hundreds of cases for law enforcement related to the medical aspects of elder abuse and testified for the DA's office in Orange County. So when I say I know it, I know it. I know it in my own family. Both of my parents were victims of elder abuse. And just like everyone else who's getting PayPal texts, I get toll roads texts, right? I was like, did I do that? Did I drive down there on that particular day? So, we just have to really engineer our minds not to respond to these things. I also see patients currently at the Senior Health Center. I actually have seen the devastation of elder abuse on our patients and many, as I mentioned, clients in Orange County. It's devastating. I've seen it shake the confidence of people who have managed their own affairs for decades. Okay, it can trigger depression, anxiety. It's just devastating, and then eventually it can affect the management of chronic disease. So it is devastating, and I'm glad to see so many people here who want to understand how to protect themselves, because as I said multiple times already, once it happens, it's happened. And I know there's some great organizations here wanting to help us get our money back and restore our lives. The DA's office, the law enforcement agencies, the FBI, etc. But again, once it's happened, it's happened. So you guys are in the right place, I think, to help understand how to prevent it. All right, so just a few words to kick us off this morning. Why do scammers target older adults? I think that's pretty obvious. But if you remember Willie Sutton, anybody remember Willie Sutton? Okay. So when they asked him, why do you rob banks? Exactly, they said, that's where the money is. Okay. Where's the money? The money is potentially a whole group of folks that are now retired, who've saved their entire lives for these days, right? These years. So that's why they target older adults, okay? And even if there's not a lot of wealth involved, any money is a target. Social Security checks are a target. Houses, mortgages, everything's a target. So it doesn't really matter how much money one has. If there's somebody out there that thinks that you're a target, then they will try something. It is shown that older adults do fall for certain things more than younger persons. Older adults tend to trust the government, believe it or not. We do have a study that shows that. So if the government calls, 16% of older adults answered, and 6% actually gave the last 4 digits of their Social Security numbers. Okay, the government will not call you, right? Just try calling the government, and sorry, guys. But they're not going to reach out and call you, and that's, unfortunately, one of the ways my father was scammed. He lost some money, and someone from the FDIC named Oliver called and said, I'm going to help you get your money back. Clearly something was wrong there. Again, urgency. These scammers are again, if you've been the victim, and I imagine that most of you in this room have actually been victims of elder abuse, even if it's identity theft, right? These are very good. They're very good at what they do. This is their job. This is their career. So we have to do everything on our side to understand what they're up to. We even have international figures who are working with people in the United States. I've seen that quite a few times as well. So why, again, older adults? I mean, if you think about the psychology of later decades, you understand, and as a geriatrician, I understand that there are so many changes in that period of life, right? There could be living situation changes, physical, medical changes. There can be loss. There can be loneliness. There's a lot of things that are happening from the ages of, 65 to 100. A lot of things are happening. I mean, people have a misconception that once you retire and you've saved up your money and then you can have your golden years and everything will be fine. But guess what? There's a lot that goes on after the age of 65. So this puts seniors in kind of a sea of change, if you will, at a point where sometimes the coping skills are not as good as they once were. So that makes it really a great target because someone can call with an urgency or a crisis. Oh my gosh, your granddaughter's in Brazil and she's in jail and she needs $20,000 to get out. So you kind of wonder, how did I fall for that? But please don't feel bad about that. I mean, there's a lot of factors at play here, and a lot of people, even without any memory disorders or any problems, have fallen victim many times over. So please, these again, remember, these are polished. They're very good at what they do. They hone their skills, and you are their target. So again, there's shame that comes with being a victim, but I urge you not to feel ashamed, okay? So, and final, social engineering. There are a lot of folks that are exploiting the loneliness of older adults. And we know that there is loneliness out there. Sometimes when people leave their jobs, that was their sort of social construct, and then you retire. And then you're like, okay, well, so now where are my friends? So, we need to prepare to retire, by the way. We need to get to the point where when you retire, you know who your support system is going to be. But again, there's a lot of losses in these years, and there is a lot of loneliness that we need to combat as well. But again, these scammers and these scumbags, right, want to take advantage of all of that. And again, they're very good at it. And if they weren't successful, they would stop. They are very successful. Okay. And again, age alone does not make people susceptible. Okay, and I think I've shown, like all of us, I mean, I've been the victim of identity theft, so all of us are targets, right? It's again, and I've already gone over this, but when aging is accompanied by changes in cognition, that adds another layer of risk. So it's shown that folks with dementia, 50% of them are victims of elder abuse. And not just financial, but physical, neglect, et cetera, et cetera. So having dementia really raises the bar there, or lowers the bar. Social isolation and stressful events. Okay. And I think we've gone over this, so why are more older adults more vulnerable? And some of the reasons I've already said, but again, I think some people have retired after the age of computers or when computers were pervasive in their work environments, and people aren't as digitally savvy, right? So you're learning. Now, you're having, some of you in your 80s and 90s probably, are learning how to use a cell phone, how to use the computer, how to pay your bills through, through the computer. And then when someone comes along and wants to take advantage of that, it's actually pretty easy. And again, my dad's 96, and these scammers were able to get into his computer, change the PIN code so he couldn't get in without them knowing, put in some viruses so they knew exactly what he was doing. And, he's cognitively intact, but, again, don't feel ashamed. These people are very good. So by the time I took the computer over to Best Buy, it was just full of scamming material and viruses and things like that. So, but if you don't grow up, in a UCI, we have a huge cybersecurity department. We have to take training every year. But if you're out there as a retiree and you're just not used to all of this digital stuff, it's easy to get taken. So don't download any apps, please. All right. Wanted to just take a couple more minutes to talk about AI. AI is everywhere now, but AI is now infiltrating the elder abuse world, especially financial abuse. I'm going to show you an example of voice cloning, and then deepfake scams. Also recreate the images of folks. You've probably already heard of some Hollywood movies being made with celebrities' images. So now they're using this technology in elder abuse. Okay. There's phishing email attacks, so incredibly important not to return emails, especially if you do not know the sender. And by the way, if somebody wants you to click on a link in an email, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Go out into the web and then find that site yourself. Okay. And then finally, fake websites. Has anybody seen the fake Best Buy website? You may not know it, but you may have seen it. So again, it's so important for you to go into that computer, put in your own address, and look it up yourself. Don't trust any website anyone has given you. Okay, so I want to talk a little, I want to show first a video of an example of a voice scam, and then we'll see a video of a video scam. So I think this.
What you're about to hear is something I never said.
Hey, this is Carter. I need your credit card number right now.
That really sounded like me.
It is you. It's cloned you. It's AI Carter.
To test it out, we called my mother.
Hey, I'm about to do an interview, but I have a quick question. I need you to text me your driver's license number as soon as you can.
She fell for the fake voice.
I feel bad.
I feel terrible
We
about
just
it.
scammed my mom.
Did you just get a call from me?
Asking for my driver's license number?
Yes. That was an AI-generated voice.
Oh, God, Carter, that's scary. Is this the real you now?
This is...
All right. So I also am very, very careful not to answer phone numbers I don't recognize, because I've heard that people can record my voice and maybe do this. But of course, if you have a media online presence, people can get your voice and your image and everything off of Facebook or TikTok or, whatever have you. So here's an AI-generated video scam.
Cybersecurity expert Dominic Chirifakis says scammers are grabbing videos posted online to create AI-generated avatars that look and sound so much like the real person, they can fool people who know them well.
You can even use just a picture of the person, and then the lip syncing will take care of the rest. So yeah, you don't need long video segments. Even a still image will do.
To show you how this works, this is a tape that I'm making of myself that I'm going to upload to an AI tool, and then I'm going to type in a script of what I want my avatar of me to say. This is the AI-generated video of me. Can you tell the difference between AI and the real thing? If you're afraid a scammer could create an avatar of you...
Number one, limit what you put out there to the extent possible.
Okay, so scary, right? Yeah, very scary. So what can we do about it? And I know we have several experts on a panel coming up soon to tell us, but again, we do have some brief advice here. Stop before sending money or sharing personal information. In fact, just don't do it. Verify. So someone calls you, you can always say, hold on, I'm gonna, you can verify by calling that. Like if the toll roads calls you, you can say, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna answer this question, I'm gonna call you back. And you can call it the real toll roads number. And again, just check yourself. Talk with a trusted friend or family member and say, does this sound legitimate? One of the best suggestions that I like is a family code word. so that if you are approached, let's say your daughter calls on the phone and she's asking for $5,000 because, you know, she's in trouble. And you don't, then you're like, oh my gosh, I've seen this. I don't know if it's really her. You can set up a code word and you can say, okay, what's the code word? All right. If they don't have the code word, you hang right up, right? So again, just really try to get yourself to stop and think about what's happening. Does this seem right? And if it seems suspicious, or if you got this feeling in your, you know, just don't react quickly. You know, just listen to yourself. So again, never give personal information unless you initiated the contact. Again, the government will not call you. Okay. Don't click on links in the text and email. Another one is bypass using your PIN code and still use the credit card. Okay, so there are scammers that can somehow pick up the PIN code, but if you go through the debit or the credit system, it's a little bit safer. I'm sure someone else in law enforcement can explain how that works. You know, again, so there's going to be a lot of advice here today given to you, so please take it seriously. I think you'll be a lot safer after this seminar. As a physician, you know, clinical insights, we always encourage our patients to have a durable power of attorney for healthcare as well as for finances. Encourage automatic bill payment. And again, you know, there's financial challenges in life. If you or your loved one start to have some memory issues or cognitive changes, you know, please set up a trust. Please set up something that talks about your will and your desires if someday you're no longer able to direct your own affairs. That way you can protect yourself. I can't tell you how many times in my work with social services agency, you know, we were left without any documentation, any paperwork, and any ability to ask patients what they really want. Okay, like who do you want to take care of you? Where do you want to live? How do you want your money to be spent this way? If you can prepare yourself beforehand legally, you know, then when something happens and you're not able to speak for yourself, people don't have to wonder and guess and listen to nefarious people or maybe legitimate people, but we don't know sometimes. And again, we see people with a lot of physical and mental health challenges as they age, and we do our very, very best, even in the clinical world, as primary care geriatricians, to really want to protect you and help you feel safe. So help is available. Please, again, just an announcement, if you know or you suspect anyone is being abused, please report to Adult Protective Services here in Orange County. I want to point out Nika Seville in the back. She has our UC Irvine table, and she can send some of the resources to you if you at least sign and give your name, and I promise we're not scammers. You can give us your information, just don't give it to anyone else. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for helping become educated and taking care of yourselves. I think together we can make a big dent here, even against some very formidable powers and sources. All right, thank you.